Okay, I have no idea if this is working, so let me just double check. Ooh, according to this, I am live. Let me just tune in and all right, sound test. Ooh, according to this, I am live. Let me just tune in and that is a delay. All right, sound test. Or maybe not. I was kind of like at the start of it. All right, sound test. Or maybe not. I was kind of like at the start of it. Oh God, it looks like shit in my opinion. I'm very particular about these sorts of things. I know I'm not made up or anything like that. We're kind of, it's just, I just wanted to test and see if I could get this to work. Um, oh God, it looks like shit in my opinion. I'm very particular about these sorts of things. Okay. I know I'm not. We'll give it a few minutes. All right, it seems like it's working just fine. So, yeah, we'll leave it there. I'm just We'll just leave it there for now. I know I said noon. It's about 4 minutes, so just going to check a few things here. I hear someone outside. I don't know what's going on. There's a building not too far from me that often has events, so it could be that. All right. Okay. Let me get it. Ooh, let me get a Coke. Hello. Hi. We're just doing a test today. I don't really have a great setup, and I'm just using my computer's camera and microphone. I was going to bring my microphone out, but then I realized, oh, it's attached to the table, and I'm not willing to unattach it. All right. Okay, here. So just waiting for a few more minutes here, and then we're going to take a look at the Silent Hill F trailer. I already watched it, but I didn't have subtitles. I was watching the Japanese version of it. So I was only able to pick up bits and pieces of what they were saying. But it looks great. We'll talk about that here in a few more minutes. So I also have a Twitch channel. I don't really use it. Um, I haven't in a while. And that that's something I would like to get back into, but I do work overnight and I It's exhausting. So today is the last day of my weekend, which means I have to basically readjust my schedule to get back into working hours. It's awful. It's awful working overnight. They pay me a little extra in the daytime, but it comes with the cost of basically being kind of left behind in the world. All right, so it is now noon. I'm not really sharing this stream, but I'll leave the archive up for anyone who's watching. Probably, yeah. I did make a post saying I would do this at noon, so that's more likely what I'm going to be doing. We'll just give it 2 more minutes here, and then we'll take a look at the trailer for Silent Hill F. All right. This is something I'm going to be needing multiple monitors for. I have a studio apartment. It's very small. I don't have space for a workstation or anything like that. And I'm just using my laptop right now, so I'm not able to see the chat like I'd like. Well, I could always just keep an eye on my phone here. Use it as a... Let me just turn down the volume. All right, 1 more minute. So 2 more days, we have St. Patrick's Day. But 2 days ago was basically the 5-year anniversary of the lockdown. That was when, oh goodness, the world has changed so much since then. I don't want to get into it. All right, it is now 12:02. Some more people may be joining, but let's just go ahead and get started here. Let's start with the Silent Hill F trailer, and then we'll talk about it. Let me know if there's any issues with the dialogue or audio.
シュウ君、嘘ついてるよね。騙せてると思う？ひなこを。ひなこはね、死んだんだよ。ひなこはお友達といつまでも一緒にいたい。お友達は永遠じゃないのよ。彼らだっていつか必ずあなたを裏切る。あなたが裏切り者と呼ばれたように。ひなこ？あ、ごめん。何？天秤にかける価値があるかどうか、しっかりと判断しなさい。自分がわからない感じ。自分の気持ちが自分で理解できない。私かお前の夢の中ってことはないよな。ひなこ、もう時間がないのよ。あなたが生かされたということは、ここに至ってもまだ迷いがあるということなのね。あなたがそれに悩める時間は もう尽きかけている。
あなたは誰なの？さっきからなんで何もわからないふりをしているの？私はね、あんたをすぐに殺すこともできたんだよ。全部奪ったな。全部私から奪ったな。
それではお別れを。あなたが幸せをつかんでくれることを願っています。
All right. So I believe there's no release date provided just yet. So let's go over this frame by frame right now. So this immediately when I saw the trailer, Siren vibes. Now, for those of you who don't know, Siren was made by the creator of the Silent Hill game, the very first one, in which it's very similar to Silent Hill in terms of like it's this like very small town. There's a religious cult in that town as well, and fog everywhere, as well as just yeah, it does look incredibly creepy. It looks really good. Um, so the setting here is 1960s Japan. Now, the person who is responsible for writing the story is Bukishio 7, who is best known for the Higurashi and Umineko series. So taking Higurashi is probably what it's going to be pulling most of its influence from, or at least, probably the closest parallel to his previous work, because that also involved like a quiet small town where horrible things happen, but for very different reasons. So let's just go over here. So you'll often see spider lilies, and I think some people already know this, but if you don't, spider lilies are associated in Japan to be associated with the underworld or the afterlife. So that's essentially, that really cements a bit more of the creepy vibe to a Japanese audience. Now, I'm very much, now you can see here, we see that throughout the trailer, her school uniform will be in different states of decay, destruction. And you can see like the back is open. Now, you can't see my cursor, but that's what I'm pointing it at. And these are geta, wooden sandals, which seems to suggest someone was there. She wasn't alone, so let's just play a bit more.
ねえ、騙せてると思う？ひなこを。
I think her name is
ひなこ
Hinako,
はね、死んだんだよ。
the main character at least.
ひなこはお友達といつまでも一緒にいたい。お友達は永遠じゃないのよ。
So I'm not too familiar with the official summary of this. I'm looking at my phone because that's where I'm seeing the chat. I'm sorry if that's a little distracting for you. That's what I'm looking at. So this is 1960s Japan. This is about 20 years after World War II. And there's more and more Western influence also coming into Japan during this time as well. But it's still very much, it's very kind of like rebuilding of a society. So these are kids who were like born shortly after the war, if they're about teenagers. So I'm not sure how much World War II is going to be mentioned in this, but that's something of potential interest here. I'm not so sure about the other two girls, but the boy shows up again throughout, so I'm not entirely sure who he is. Well, I don't know a goddamn thing.
永遠じゃないのよ。彼らだっていつか必ずあなたを裏切る。あなたが裏切り者と呼ばれたように。
So it feels like she felt betrayed by them based off this.
あ、ごめん。
So yeah, if you played the short message, there is a text that you can read that kind of goes into the Silent Hill syndrome, which was basically a shorthand of letting everyone know that we're sort of doing a soft rebooting of the Silent Hill franchise. I am of a very controversial mindset, I guess, that I don't think Silent Hill should have an overarching lore. I think that's kind of a mistake. As I mentioned in my Silent Hill video, it was a series that never had a vision, and that's ultimately what I believe contributed to its decline, even past Team Silence dissolution. So I think it kind of works best if there's similar things, like similar themes throughout all the games, and then, but, you know, just forget about any overarching lore. That's my very controversial hot take, I guess you could say, because I feel like a lot of people really are into Silent Hill lore, and I think it would work better if we just, you know, if you want to just kind of like push that aside. And I'm really hoping this doesn't tie into any previously established lore. That's my hope, but I'm very strange. So
何？
yeah, but going back to the short message here, so it revealed that it is essentially a syndrome where people kind of are moving throughout the world, but they seem to be detached and they see everything in fog. And we sort of see a little bit of that here. Because here she is in the fog, and then back to her friends where it's, you know, it's an overcast day, it looks like, but it's not foggy.
ごめん。何？
天秤にかける価値があるかどうかしっかりと判断しなさい。
Okay, this is the first new monster we get to see here. Has a little bit of an avian look. Oh gosh, there is a monster in Japanese. It's gosh, it's kind of like a bird woman who abducts children. If you remember the statue Momo, she was one of these types of monsters. I can't remember what the name of the monster is, unfortunately, but it's a bit of an avian vibe. Kind of want to see if we can get a better look at the monster here. It kind of looks like someone had like fallen to their death and their bones are broken, you know? All right, and then there's something else in the distance. We don't really see it. It's covered in fog and shadow. A little more of the... has a doll-like appearance to it. Yeah, it looks more like a mannequin. You can kind of see the joints. But it's still too far away for me to really make out. It looks great. I like how it looks. Okay. And then something there. Don't know what that is. Not entirely sure what these are. They kind of look like those tubes in the ocean that kind of hang around the volcanic activity there. That's what I think of first, but I could be wrong on that. There's, the flowers were in the original announcement trailer. They did resemble a more coral structure. Now I just want to point that out. I don't know why. All right, so we have the spider lilies, and then it looks like something is completely covered in spider lilies and other flowers. But it kind of looks like a brain almost, like brain shaped. Okay, let's see here. Okay, yeah, this is a doll head, it looks like. So, I know, like, it's kind of not fair to, like, compare these two, but with Silent Hill now taking place in Japan or, other cities around the world, this one being in Japan specifically, I can't help but think of Fatal Frame. But, that kind of is a given considering how much these games are going to be steeped in Japanese culture. All right, let's continue. So we see, okay, because I just want to point this out because I mentioned that the monster we just saw looked like a woman who had like fallen to her death, and look behind her. It looks like a woman who may have possibly fallen. Thing is interesting here is that it looks like there was probably like this is taking place after a boss fight, possibly, because I'm assuming her name is Hinako, is holding a pipe, and there is a knife next to the other body. So I don't know if this woman first attacked us and we grabbed a pipe and just, maybe we swung too hard and where her head like twisted around. So. And then we see, I guess this is the transition into the other world. A little similar to the 5th Silent Hill game as well as the movie, but, which visually is very appealing. I believe Akira, so there are 2 composers for Silent Hill F. Akira Yamaoka is going to be doing the music for the other world, and then the more hellish version of Silent Hill is, or at least this town, is composed by someone else. I'm not entirely sure. I can't remember their name, but there's 2 composers for different settings of this town. Or dimensions, I guess. That makes more sense, dimensions. Alright. So we're now at a temple. And those are kitsune, I believe. Inari. I believe foxes are servants of Inari, who is an agricultural god. I could be full of shit, but yeah, these are foxes. I'm positive they're foxes because I do know they're usually associated with Japanese temples and shrines as servants to Inari. Stop. They showed that image for a reason. Okay. Here we go. So, let's take a look. Alright, there's 5 figures here. You got a demon. I wish I had my cursor on. God damn it. I didn't realize I would be relying on it so much. Most significant, I think, of here is this woman with a long neck that my mouse and cursor is going through. So, I can't remember what these are called. It's like Roku, something like that. But it looks like even some of the monsters are going to have some influence from Japanese myth. And you can see it looks like there are... So it's the woman with the long neck. What resembles to be 3 other monsters killing a fox. So there's some sort of like divine battle here. I don't really know much more than that. So it seems like what this is suggesting is that Hinako is not the only one experiencing this hell world. One of her friends, the guy, could very much be a part of it. Um, seeing maybe the same things or maybe something else slightly different from what Hinako was experiencing. We're not entirely sure. But whatever is happening, it doesn't seem to be exclusive to Hinako, as it seems that someone else is wondering if they're having some strange dream. And yeah, just a shed. I think that's Hinako in that photo. Ooh, I love this design. This looks amazing. It's very dancer-esque. Kind of resembles a scarecrow a little bit. But yeah, I really love this image. I love that. I just really think that's really cool and beautiful.
ひなこ、もう時間がないのよ。あなたが生かされたということは。
Okay, all right, stop. Yeah, there's the fox again. Okay. So we're getting a little into the evil within 2 here. It seems like. So a whole bunch of Japanese dolls kind of combined together with their heads and arms and legs. This is, yeah, probably going to be a boss type or something like that. Let me just scroll back a little bit. So we see here her sleeve has been torn off, but I don't think the back of her sailor outfit has been damaged yet either.
もう時間がないのよ。あなたが生かされたということは、ここに至ってもまだ。
Okay. So what it says here, I can read some of this. So because it's in Japanese, going down, you want to read it right to left, in which it's hayaku nigete, hurry escape or hurry run away. Torikaishita. Torikaishika. It's a little hard to read at the end there. I can't tell if it's a ta or a ka. But torikaishi ga tsukanaku naru. So torikaisu is basically to take it back. So take it back, tsukanaku naru. All right, let me look. I'm very out of practice. That's my fault. But I can read some of it and understand some of it. Let me look up this little thing here, tsukanaku naru. Without kanji, I don't know exactly the context. Tsuka. Okay. Because there is no kanji, it's a little difficult for me to understand which one it could be. Because it could be, but it seems like it is something to arrive or maybe to be connected. That might make a bit more sense. So hurry and run away. Take it back so it can be connected. Or something along those lines. Don't take my word for it. Like I'm so not brushed up on my Japanese. I'm so sorry. Okay. Want to take a look at that. So this might be the thing that she saw in the shadows when we saw that one like fallen doll woman. There's a lot of like bird-like feet. Bird legs. It has that like arch. You know, kind of like how like the legs go backwards a little bit.
もう尽きかけている。
Okay, nothing really, I mean, just a woman there. Probably, so Haiko nigete is hurry and run away, hurry and escape. Torikaishite, torikaishita. Sunakunaru. To be connected. Ooh, ooh. All right, now we are having some dinner with the bakers. Okay. This looks like a Japanese breakfast a little bit because they usually have fish. But I mean, it could not necessarily be breakfast, but that's just my first thought, seeing the fish or what remains of the fish. But then you got this in the center with the human eye. And it looks like a rib. It's like in a rib cage. Yeah, it's pretty nasty. Oh, and there's maggots on the table too. So this has been here for a while. You don't need me to tell you that. Okay, so we see this is, assuming this photo is supposed to be here, this is Hinako's family home. But we can't really make out the images of the family. Like, their faces are all blacked out. But yeah, the photo doesn't look like one that is like a literal photo. Okay, and we're kind of with the short message here. A lot of different drawings, maybe self-portraits of Hinako because they all sort of resemble her. But of course, and it says die. I can make out the blood characters. It's shine, shine, shine all over, which is die, die, die. All right, and then this is the boy. I think we've seen throughout the game, throughout the trailer. Now of course, Hinako's drawings of herself are all damaged and destroyed, but his are very pristine and seem to be complementary as well. So perhaps a love interest. All right, and so we see here, let me see. Okay, that's just blood. I was wondering if maybe like there was like a vine coming into her arm or something like that. Yeah, more of the disrepair of her school uniform. And you can see here, yeah, the torn back. So I don't know. So we may be getting some clothing damage shown as we progress through the story. That we're going to get into the ill bleed territory, though. Oh gosh. All right. Yeah, there's some animosity between these groups of friends, it sounds like. Ooh! Ooh! Got another monster. This one looks really big. Like there's a distended stomach or sack hanging off their body. It kind of looks like a foot where an arm should be. Okay, no, that's clearly a hand. Okay. All right. Sorry, I wish I had my cursor on. All right. Okay, just want to double check. Okay. All right, you can see a little bit of the monster, but it's, yeah, too out of focus. All right. Did they reveal what F means? I didn't watch the transmission because, okay, so the transmission, I saw it advertised on my PlayStation News, and they said it was Friday, March 13th, but March 13th isn't on a Friday this year. The 14th is, but not the 13th. So I had no idea what day it was. And I thought, oh, maybe it was Friday because I didn't see anything when I got up to go to work because I work that day. I didn't really see anything on the people I usually follow online and stuff like that. They weren't talking about it, and neither were some of my friends that chat me. So I thought, okay, I guess it is Friday, and only to find out, no, it was Thursday. All right, so we got some priestesses here.
それではお別れを。あなたが幸せをつかんでくれることを願っています。
Probably. Ooh, what's that in the back there? You see where the eyes are above the knife? That kind of looks like a fox. Like it very much has like the shape because you can kind of see something sticking out. Very, very much, I think, is a fox. Now she's in a completely different area. This is not this. This is not the temple, or yeah, the temple. And then that happens. So that parallels with the announcement trailer, where at the very end her face falls off, and it reveals something that, you know, if your face were to the skin were to fall off, that's not exactly it. It didn't look human, basically. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Okay, so yeah, not entirely sure if that just means there's a conflict with her identity, or basically the mask that she puts on will be coming off. She has to go and dig into the deeper, darker side of herself. I don't know. Okay, but I am genuinely looking forward to it. Maybe we can find the transmission. Let's see if we can find the transmission. Let's watch this proper. Okay. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to playing it. That was the one I was most interested in. So what's very funny to me is that we're already Ascension is already trying to be wiped clean from everyone's memory. As I said, I do like Ascension, but I like it for being awful, because I think if you look at it as though you're enjoying a terrible movie or something like that, it becomes much more fun. So I enjoy it for being bad. But again, I would like an Ascension season 2, because I have questions that were not answered. So, but that's just me.
サイレントヒルの情報をお伝えする
Oh
番組
no!
サイレントヒルトランスミッションへようこそ。サイレントヒルのシリーズプロデューサーを務める岡本元井です。
岡本さんと一緒に進行を担当する吉崎千尋です。私もサイレントヒル1作目からこの世界を恐れ楽しんできました。今日はプレイヤーの一人として今回のトランスミッション非常にワクワクしています。岡本さん、本日はよろしくお願いします。
よろしくお願いします。
さあ、このトランスミッション、今回はどんな情報が伺えるんでしょうか。
はい、今回はサイレントヒル F にフォーカスしたトランスミッションとなります。このプロジェクトを発表したのが2022年の10月ですから、ファンの皆さんを随分お待たせしてしまいましたが、ようやく本日新たな情報をお届けすることができるようになりました。
そうですね、ティザートレーラーが話題となって謎に包まれていたサイレントヒル F のこの最新情報がようやくお披露目されるというわけですが、この T シャツ、我々も F のロゴが入っていて岡本さんかっこいいですね。
ありがとうございます。
そして私気になっていたんですけれども、私たちが今立っているこの場所も、
はい、この場所もサイレントヒル F のゲーム内のロケーションの一つなんです。語りたいことは山ほどあるのですが、今日は新たなトレーラーを用意してきましたので、まずは皆さんにこちらをご覧いただければと思います。それではどうぞ。
Alright, I'm only skipping the trailer because we just watched it. Alright, and yeah, it's only available for wishlist
謎
right
が
now.
謎を生み、そして恐怖が恐怖を生むサイレントヒルの DNA を受け継いでいるかのような素晴らしいトレーラーでした。そしてウィッシュリストが本日開始となっております。ぜひ各プラットフォームのストアページから登録をお願いいたします。対象のプラットフォームはプレイステーション5、Xbox シリーズ XS、そしてスチーム、エピックゲームズストア、マイクロソフトストアとなっています。さあ、 ここからはサイレントヒル F についてさらに詳しい情報をお届けしていきたいと思います。まずは皆さんも気になっているであろう本作のあらすじについて私からご紹介いたしましょう。清水日奈子の日常は思春期相応の平凡なものだった。だが唐突に街は霧に包まれおぞましく変貌していく。変貌していく街を探索し謎を解き身を守るために戦い生き残れ。向かい合わなければ。
So I remember, sorry to interrupt. So I remember a few years ago, someone suggested to in English to start having Japanese names presented in the way that Japanese people give it, which is last name first and then the individual name second. And I wasn't entirely sure because I also heard there was like some pushback from other Japanese people. It's like, why change that now? But I guess that is going to be the preference from now on because I see it with fan translations, so I wasn't entirely sure with if that was like had gone through or something, but it seems like it. So Shimizu is her family name, and so Hinako Shimizu. That's just easier because like I've been saying that for like going with the Japanese. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, I think you know what I mean. So.
なかった選択と向き合うために美しくもおぞましい選択の物語。
Okay, that doesn't really tell us much,
い
but
やものすごく気になるストーリーでした。私もファンの一人としてワクワクしていますが、岡本さん、これまで
Yeah, they don't want to
海外
reveal
を
too
舞台
much
としてき
though.
たこの過去シリーズの作品とは違って今回はこの日本が舞台であり和を特徴としたサイ
That is
レント
unless
ヒ
you
ル F ですが、
count
まずは
Siren as a
改
silent
め
hill
て
game.
本作品のコンセプトを教えてください。
はい、本作品のコンセプトは美しいがゆえにおぞましい。サイレントヒルシリーズの核であるサイコロジカルホラーとしての要素は残しつつも、従来の作品から一転して日本を舞台にし和のテイストを前面に押し出した挑戦的な作品となります。日本のホラーの一つの特徴は美しさの中におぞましさが宿っていることです。美しいものは美しすぎるがゆえにとてつもなく恐ろしいものでもあります。プレイヤーは一人の女性の人生を通して美しくもおぞましい選択をしていくことになります。美しさと同居したおぞましさをぜひ体験していただけたらと思います。
日本ならではのホラーを追求しているというのが本当ひしひしと伝わってくるんですけれども、美しくもおぞましい選択ってどんなことが考えられるんでしょうか。
まさにそれがこの作品のコアになっていますので、美しさとおぞましさが共存する様をぜひ体験していただければと思います。
ありがとうございます。それではここからはサイレントヒル F の魅力をより深掘りしていくためにゲストの方にお越しいただきましょう。今回ストーリーを担当されているこの方です。どうぞ。
よろしくお願いします。
よろしくお願いします。
龍騎士07さんです。よろしくお願いいたします。
よろしくお願いします。
さあ岡本さん、龍騎士さんといえば日暮らしの泣く頃になど数々の作品を世に送り出されていますが、今回サイレントヒルシリーズには初参加ということで、この辺りの経緯教えてください。
日本を舞台にしたサイレントヒルを作り上げるにあたって和風ホラーのエッセンスを理解しているシナリオライターの方が必要でした。和風ホラーの中で最も有名な作品の一つが日暮らしの泣く頃にです。多くのユーザーが当時事件の謎を考察していました。サイレントヒルもまた特に2がそうなんですけれども、多くのファンが考察を楽しんでいるコンテンツです。恐怖があり考察があるストーリーを書くにあたって日暮らしを泣く頃にの龍騎士先生はベストな選択でした。龍騎士先生はサイレントヒルの大ファンでもあります。本作も最初のエンディングを終えた時点では多くの謎が残されますので、ぜひ楽しみにしていてください。
岡本さんありがとうございます。さあ龍騎士さん、サイレントヒルのファンというのも分かりましたし、やっぱりこの恐怖考察といえば龍騎士さんというのは我々も本当にうなずくところなんですけれども、今回岡本さんからオファーを受けてどんな気持ちでこちら臨んでいったんでしょうか。
はい、最初はですね、何しろ有名なサイレントヒルさんからお声がかかったということもあって、私のスタッフの方がですね、むしろいや実はシナリオ と見せかけてもっと小さいお手伝いの仕事かもしれないからぬか喜びにならないようにねちょっとまだ冷静に落ち着いて待っててねみたいなことを言ってむしろスタッフの方が私に気を使ってくれたぐらいで、それで入念に打ち合わせを重ねていったらどうやら本当にシナリオの話らしいということでものすごい浮かれて、そしてものすごい緊張感でコナミさんにお伺いしたことを覚えております。
竜吉先生のサイレントヒル愛が本当にすごいので私たちも安心して任せることができました。
いや今回サイレントヒルシリーズの完全新作ということでやっぱり緊張して臨んだと思うんですけれども、新たなストーリーを作るにあたって意識したことがあれば教えてください。
そうですね。やっぱり一番最初に実は私もコナミさんにお伺いする直前までは日本が舞台になるとは思わなかったんです。やはりサイレントヒルという街の名前を冠したゲームですから、やはりサイレントヒルが舞台になるだろうと思っていたんです。ですが実際にお会いして話を聞いているうちに今度は日本を舞台にしたいと。で当然私の方ではサイレントヒルってのはサイレントヒルでやるからサイレントヒルなんだろうと思ったんですけれども、じゃあ巣はサイレントヒルとは何ぞや、街の名前はついてますけどこの作品自体は一体何を描いているんだということで、それで岡本さんと随分初期の打ち合わせにサイレントヒルとは何ぞやということを随分たくさん対話を交わしたんです。でまずサイレントヒルという物語、このタイトルが持つ側面の一つはサイレントヒルという土地が持つ記憶や物語、痛みやあるいはその土地の暗い歴史などを語ったそういうもちろんサイレントヒルという土地の側面、そしてもう一つは登場人物たちの心の闇とか罪とかあるいはそういったわだかまり葛藤、そういったものを視覚的に描かれた心象世界で対峙していくというそういう精神世界を描いたテーマこの2つの面があったわけなんですよね。この
Thank you,
前者でなく
Seb
後者がサイレントヒルだと
Seb the Dirt
であると考えたならばサイレントヒルは成立するんではないかと考えるに至ったわけです。
やっぱりファンならではの葛藤があってディスカッションがあって今に行き着いてるんですよね。
はい。
いや他にも意識されてることがあれば教えてください。
実は私それまでのサイレントヒルを一通りやらせてきて、いつも割と女性が割と受難というか気の毒な生まれた時から気の毒な目に遭っている女性が多かったんで、ただ不幸な目に遭ってるだけではなくその不幸な中でも自分なりの選択を葛藤しながら選べるような、流されるんじゃなくて自分の意思で答えを見つけれるような主人公あるいは物語にしたいなという思いはありました。
いやこの選択を繰り返していって結末そして未来を掴んでいくまさしくサイレントヒルだなというふうに感じました。ありがとうございます。お二人の本作にかける熱い思い伝わってきました。さあ
Yeah. So listening to this, I feel pretty good about this upcoming Silent Hill game, far more so than with 2. Now, I did enjoy 2. Remake, I mean, the remake. I actually did quite enjoy that. I kind of want to talk about that at some point. Because there's one thing I want to criticize it mostly for, but otherwise I think it's still really good. And it's, it's a criticism that I think most people can talk about. It's like it's mostly the camera. It's the camera I want to criticize. But I'm really like Nukishi 07 or 07. I just really love Higurashi. I need to finish playing the visual novels. I watched the anime and I read all the manga that came out in English and everything like that. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about this upcoming game. Now, the thing that is kind of more essential with his stories is that there tends to be a bit of a time loop, a bit of parallel worlds and timelines and stuff like that. Now, I know a lot of people talk about the time loop theory with Silent Hill 2, but I really think that's misconstruing a time loop or confusing a time loop with purgatory. And because I think it's more a purgatory in Silent Hill 2 than a time loop. But that's because there's a subtle nuance to both that differentiates them. So I'm wondering if that's also going to come into play with this game as well, because I'm not super fond of the time loop theory, but that's more in line with Rukishi 07's works. is having these different timelines. Whether or not that's going to fall into this game remains to be seen. I'm hoping not, though.
本さん、こちら新しい場所に我々やってまいりましたが、
Okay, so we're at a
こちらちょっと
temple here.
神社でしょうか、
A
鳥
shrine,
居も見えますし、そして何よりもちょっと重々しい雰囲気がこちら漂い。
So, this doesn't mean anything to anyone. Temples are otera in Japanese. They tend to be associated with Buddhism, and jinja, shrines, are Shinto in nature. And I guess that's more apparent with the kitsune, that it's a Shinto shrine. It's just a very big one.
ているわけなんですが、同時に古い日本のような印象があるんですけれども、こちらの時代設定いつなんでしょうか。
はい、サイレントヒル F は1960年代の日本の田舎町を舞台にしています。時代交渉も丁寧に行ってストーリーや舞台を作り込んでいます。
ということで、この私たちがいるこの場所、そしてトレーラーに出てきた他のシーンも非常にリアルになっているということなんですね。
はい。
ということはどのように作り上げているんでしょうか。
はい。ゲームの舞台になっている恵比寿ヶ丘という町は実際に岐阜県に存在する下呂市金
Ebisugaoka, that is a word. Ebisugaoka. Ebisu. So oka is hill in Japanese. Ebisu. Now there is a neighborhood in Tokyo called Ebisu. Okay. Sorry, so I'm trying to look up like what if maybe it has the similar kanji. So according to this, it's Ebisu is the god of fishing and commerce. I'm trying to see any other meanings. One meaning of it could be savage. So it could be like Savage Hill. Or maybe the hill of Ebisu. Something along those lines. I just want to, yeah, okay. So it's like the hill of Ebisu or something along those lines. And it's based on Kaneyama, Gero, in the Gifu Prefecture. Not familiar with that. I've heard of Kaneyama before. But that's, yeah.
町という場所をモデルにしています。下呂市金山町に実際にスタッフが行ってそこで写真を撮ったり音を収録したりしてですね、その現地のリアルな音、リアルな生活感というものを
One thing I really wish I did more of when I lived in Japan was get further away from Tokyo. Because I really love the traditional Japanese architecture and stuff like that, and they're very much building on that here. Hinamizawa, which is the town that Higurashi takes place in, was also based off an actual town as well. That I think because of the popularity of that series, they got a lot of tourists, and with tourists also comes nuisances and harassers and stuff like that.
落とし込んでいるという当時にそれを1960年代にコンバートして昔の資料なんかも拝見しながら作っていきました。
あ、そこまで徹底されてるんですね。はい、いや、こうして見ると確かに下呂市金山町の実際の場所がこのゲーム内で再現されているというのがよく分かってくるわけなんですけれども、ちなみに下呂市金山町がモデルとなった決め手、どこにあるんでしょうか。
はい、下呂市金山町の筋骨エリアを舞台にしたいと龍吉先生がおっしゃいまして、それで採用することになりました。
龍吉先生の肝入りということですが、ちなみにこのエリアを選んだ理由教えてください。
そうですね、物語を描くにあたってスタッフ全員にこういうところを舞台にしたいというのを映像として共通認識を持ちたかったんです。それで私が日暮の泣く頃にもそうだったように舞台は例えば白川郷がいいなと決めたように
白川郷、
今回も恵比寿ヶ丘という土地はどんなところがいいだろうということでいろいろなところを見比べた結果下呂市の方に足を運びまして、実際に筋骨地区を見せてもらいまして、この筋骨地区っていうのは非常に面白いエリアで 生活と時代に合わせてどんどんこう家々やその建物の形、住む人によってどんどんこう形が変わってきたというのを肌で感じられる、とてもその独特の造形感のある街並みなんですよね。でそれが非常に興味深かったんで、歴史とか時代とかを感じさせる、あとインスピレーションをとても感じさせるエリアとして素晴らしいなと思って、ここにしたいなと選ばせていただきました。
金山町は創作意欲、そして竜騎士先生を刺激するには素晴らしい場所だったということですね。
そうですね。
ありがとうございます。さあそれでは続いてコンセプトビジュアルの紹介に移ってまいりましょう。さあ気味悪く恐ろしくもありながら、同時にどっか
Hearing about all the alleyways and how labyrinthine it is, that sounds amazing.
侵食された世界、
Very claustrophobic. I can't wait.
サイレントヒルの恐怖が伝わってきます。そしてこのビジュアル内のひな子を含めたキャラクターやクリーチャーのデザインはケラさんが担当されています。本日はケラさんからコメントが届いているのでご紹介いたしましょう。私にとってサイレントヒルは自分に影響を及ぼした大好きなシリーズです。特にサイレントヒル2の壁の文字や音楽、クリーチャーデザインはずっと頭に残っています。日本が舞台のサイレントヒル F ですが、今までと違うサイレントヒルがテーマという。
Sorry, the image of that Keta used of the butterflies, at first I thought maybe they were dead and on the ground, but I can see that they're actually flying. I just want to say that.
もあり、とても悩みました。これまでのシリーズのクリーチャーデザインが頭にちらつきながらも、別の方向性にしていくことはとても難しく、一番大変でした。今までの血とサビの世界がどんな世界に変わっているのかなど、皆様に楽しんでいただけたら嬉しいです。さあこんなメッセージをいただいておりますが、岡本さんいかがですか、ご覧になって。
はい、竜騎士先生同様にケダさんの参加によって新しい風が吹き込まれているなと感じています、はい、過去のサイレントヒルシリーズとは異なった視点から美しい上におぞましいというコンセプトを意識するような特殊なデザインが作り上げられていると感じています。
もう岡本さんもしっかりとその点評価されているということですが、竜騎士先生はご覧になっていかがですか。
いや私も全く同じで、ただ単にグロテスクなだけならば描ける方はたくさんいらっしゃると思うんですけど、ケラさんのようにその中に独特の一本筋の通った、美しさっていうのもまた一つの偏った言い方なんですけども、独特の世界観をお持ちな先生にお願いできたというのは、私もとてもありがたかったことだと思っています。
ありがとうございます。さあサイレントヒルといえばクリーチャーもやはり魅力的。ケラさんが他にもどんなクリーチャーをデザインしたのか、そしてそのクリーチャーには何が反映されているのか、早く見てみたいです。今後の情報が楽しみです。
Oh, and here we are at the shrine.
さらに新たな場所へとやってまいりました。皆様こちらの雰囲気伝わっていますか。我々の背後にはこの狐の像がそびえ立っています。すごい緊張感が漂っています。さあここからはもうお一方新たなゲストをお迎えしてまいりましょう。サイレントヒルシリーズの楽曲といえばこの方、コンポーザーの山岡明さんです。どうぞ山岡さんよろしくお願いいたします。
よろしくお願いします。
さあ山岡さんは昨年リリースのサイレントヒル2など、これまでもサイレントヒルシリーズで数多くの楽曲を担当されてきていますが、本作ではどのように参加されているんでしょうか。
今回は表世界、サイレントヒルの表世界裏世界ってあるんですけど、こちらの表世界の方の音楽を担当させていただいてます。僕も四半世紀以上にわたって、サイレントヒルの最初の作品から携わらせてもらってて、今回
I'm sorry, the passage of time, man. Yeah, I wonder if... Yeah, he's having a hard time being able to speak. But, yeah, okay.
オリジナル、新しい作品でやれることに本当に嬉しく思ってます。
1作目から携わっているということですけれども、今回サイレントヒル F のサウンド制作にあたってはどのような思い、どのような考えで取り組まれているんでしょうか。
そうですね、日本が舞台の、今回はサイレントヒルなかったんですけど、日本が舞台っていうのは和っていうものをもちろんね描くんですけど、やっぱり海外のたくさんのサイレントヒルのファンにも届けたいので、あまりドメスティックになりすぎず、 その分かりやすいホラーではないんですけどジャストホラーっていうところを注力したというかそういったところですね。
やっぱり全世界の方に楽しんでもらうためには日本だけではダメだってことですよね。
そうですね。もちろんその世界観を表現するってことは大事なんですけど、やっぱり今回の F のストーリーキャラクターっていうものにちょっとフォーカスして、見ればねこれは日本が舞台だっていうのは分かるというか、なんですけど、音はまた別のアプローチとしてホラーまたあるいはキャラクターっていうところに主軸に置いて表現することで、それが合わさった時にサイレントヒルらしさみたいなところも生まれるんじゃないかなとは考えてます。
ありがとうございます。さあ岡本さん、サウンドという面で紹介したい方もう一方いらっしゃるんですよね。
はい、表世界のサウンドは山岡さんに、裏世界は稲毛健介さんに担当していただいてます。稲毛さんも数多くのゲーム音楽を手掛けたベテランの方です。
さあ本日稲毛さんからもコメントをいただいておりますので、私からご紹介させていただきます。初めてサイレントヒルシリーズの作品をプレイしたのは20年も前のこと。そんな歴史あるタイトルの最新作に関わらせていただき大変光栄です。私は裏世界である闇の社殿の音楽を担当し
ます。That's interesting. The other world in this game, or at least the other world in Japan, in this Japanese setting, will be Dark Shrine. Okay, that's fascinating. That really does tie into a little bit of the underworld.
神社をモチーフとした美しくも不気味な世界を雅楽の音色とアンビエントな心象音で描いています。主人公の苦悩、葛藤、恐怖、その他さまざまな思いがプレイヤーと交差するよう多様な仕掛けを施しました。ぜひゲーム中で体験してみてくださいとのことです。岡本さん、こちらのコメントを受けていかがですか？
はい、本作のサウンドは山岡さんにオリジネーターとして参加していただいて、サイレントヒルらしい本質的な音楽を作っていただいてます。一方で稲毛さんにも参加していただいて、いろいろと和の要素を取り入れていただいています。さらに竜騎士073作品の作曲家である大さんや咲さんにも参加していただいています。
さあこちらを受けて竜騎士さんいかがですか？
はい、私の作品をいつも盛り上げてくださった音楽家さんたちなんですけども、今回の F のシナリオの中でも描写として盛り上げたいところにちょっとお二人の力を借りたくてちょっとお願いさせてもらいました。
ありがとうございます。竜騎士さんをはじめ多くのクリエイターが参加することでサイレントヒルらしさと新しい挑戦を見事に融和させているなと感じました。私もサイレントヒルの楽曲はとっても好きなので、山岡さんの参加は本当に心強いですし、安心感もあって素直にファンとしても嬉しいです。さあ新たな舞台に我々は移動してきました。ここまで日本は舞台だからこその美しいがゆえにおぞましいストーリー、ビジュアル、サウンドについてそれぞれ伺ってまいりましたが、視聴者の方々もサイレントヒル F についてまだまだ気になる部分がたくさんあると思います。そこでここからはサイレントヒル F についてファンを代表して皆さんが思うであろうことを直接こちらのお三方にぶつけていきたいと思います。よろしくお願いします。
よろしくお願いします。
それではまずは最初の質問です。ズバリなぜ日本を舞台にした作品を開発しようと考えたんでしょうか？岡本さんお願いします。
はい、サイレントヒルは和風ホラーのエッセンスと西洋ホラーのエッセンスを融合して生み出されてきた作品だと思います。ただシリーズは長らく西洋を舞台にしてきたんですけど、日本的なエッセンスが徐々に失われていったっていうふうに感じていまして、そこで逆に和風ホラーのエッセンスを 100% にした作品を作ってみたいという気持ちが生まれてきたんです。
ということは山岡さん、そのエッセンスが失われてきたというのが一つのチャンスになったから、もう今回は日本にしようという流れが話あったということでいいんですかね？
岡本さん、そうですよね。
そうですね。
今エッセンスって本当そうで、これが実はサイレントヒルらしさじゃないですけど、一つのポイントにもなってて、西洋を舞台にしながらも日本のエッセンスっていうなかなかなんですかね、なかなかもう個性的なというか、これが個性にもなってると思うんで、今回そのザ和っていうところはまたちょっと今までのサイレントヒルとは違うけど新しい作品なのかなと思います。
岡本さん、やっぱりこの歴史あるゲームだからこそ、ユーザーと共に作り上げてきたからこそ、エッセンスが変わってきたっていう瞬間があったんでしょうか？
そうですね、サイレントヒル非常にたくさんの作品を出してきたんですけれども、その過程においてやはり徐々になんていうんですかね、中に宿っていた日本的な魂みたいなものがちょっと薄れてきて、西洋色が強くなりすぎたところがあったと思ったので、一層大胆に日本食に日本 100% にしたものもどうだろうということが今回のこのインスピレーションというかきっかけにはなりました。
そういった流れがあって一気に振っていこうというところが始まっての
そうですね、
今回の F ということなんですが、
そうですね、
その F なんですけれども、今回どのような立ち位置なんでしょうか？
今回の F に関しては完全な外伝になっていますので、今までのシリーズを遊んでない方でも楽しんでいただくことができますし、
It doesn't mean that they're not going to
今ま
connect
での
into
シリー
others.
ズを遊んできた
Just
方でもニヤッ
don't
とす
be
るよう
worried
な要
about
素
it.
なんかもあったりしますので、そこはぜひ楽しみにしていただければと考えています。竜吉先生によってですね、考察すべき謎に満ちている物語になっていますので、日暮の泣く頃になんかの竜吉先生ファンはもうぜひ楽しんでいただけると思いますし、もちろんサイレントヒルファンも楽しんでいただける作品になっていると思います。
やっぱりこのサイレントヒルらしさっていうものは竜吉さんもやっぱりこう意識して逆に冷や汗をかいたような部分がきっとあったと思うんです、途中から。でその中でサイレントヒル F は1960年代の日本が舞台となっているんですけれども、そのサイレントヒルを描く上で他にも意識されたことあるんですか？
個別に意識したことというか全体的なことなんですけど、これはすでに岡本さんが何度もおっしゃっていることなんですけども、原点回帰であると同時にさまざまなことへの挑戦でもある、一番分かりやすい挑戦がサイレントヒルという街から出た舞台が果たしてサイレントヒルとして成立するのかというところももちろん挑戦です。もちろん作った側のこちらは自信を持ってこれはサイレントヒルですと言えるんですけども、まずそこをサイレントヒルを長いこと楽しんでくれたファンの方々にどう受け取ってもらえるかというのを私たちも皆さんのご審判を見てみたいというところがある。だから作品の中には意図的にこれまでのサイレントヒルらしさを踏襲したところもあれば、これまでのサイレントヒルではあまりしなかった挑戦、分かりやすいところでは日本が舞台ということですよね、といったようにさまざまな要素である種の冒険、なるべくこじんまりとサイレントヒルだから日本を舞台にしてもこれがお約束だよねっていう
I don't care. I'm sorry.
にしていただければと思います。
ワクワクする情報ありがとう。
おぞましい時に美しい音楽、なんか綺麗な
伝統を継承した点としては、
I'm sorry, I just stopped caring.
伝統を継承した点、
Okay.
1点お願いします。
That's enough.
僕の場合
That's
はもう
enough.
やっぱ幸せ期というかね、長い間やってきて。
Okay. All right. Well, regardless, very much looking forward to Silent Hill F. I really feel like that is what is going to help determine where they continue with the franchise. I think it is best if they try to step away from older games or older image that the series has and try something new, basically kind of like start over. But okay. I hate AI schlock. All right. So regardless of other people's opinions, I'm pretty excited for it because I really think it is just it very much has siren vibes to it. And I think it is the new direction the franchise does need to go in. Let me see if we can get like stuck on a really nice image.
あなたを裏切る。あなたが裏切り者と呼ばれたように。
きなこ？あ、ごめん。何？
I'm trying to find that one
あるかどうか。
image of that monster that I really
しっかりと判
liked.
断しなさい。
There we go. So yeah, I don't know, what was I saying? I have no clue. Anyway, I'm not a Silent Hill purist or anything like that, so I'm pretty good with them trying something different. So far, what I see looks very interesting, but of course, we need to get some gameplay. I'm assuming it's going to be not too different from what we've saw with the Silent Hill 2 remake. And basically, that's where a lot of action games are going now with the third person over the shoulder camera. Um, so they did state, I think Konami did mention they are making another in-house Silent Hill game, as well as Bloober Team is working with Konami again, quite possibly going to be remaking another Silent Hill title. A lot of people, it's just the question is it going to be the very first Silent Hill game, or is it going to be the third Silent Hill game? I get the feeling we probably will get a fourth remake. I really think 4 is the one that would benefit the most from a remake. Um, but when people talked about the first Silent Hill remake, they're like, oh, well, you can just play Silent Hill Shattered Memories. Thing is, though, Silent Hill Shattered Memories came out on the Wii, and it's basically just stuck there. Also, we're now further away from Silent Hill Shattered Memories than when that game came out. Was further, like, that game came out closer to the initial release of the first Silent Hill game, and we're now further away from the release of Silent Hill Shattered Memories. So the first one also could use a remake as well. Um, so that is coming down the road. Who knows which one will get first? There was also no info of Townfall. There hasn't been anything about Townfall, and I wonder if that may have been silently canceled or something like that because Annapurna Interactive is going through some things. But it was also being worked on by No Code, so who knows? I haven't heard anything new about Townfall. The only thing I heard was, I think, after a good while of when Annapurna Interactive was shut down, they didn't mention they're still working on it. So as far as I know, it's still in production. But we haven't really heard much about it since then. Um, yeah, no news on the Silent Hill 2 movie, which, other than like its prosthetic effects, probably isn't going to be good. But I might still go and see it. It might be interesting. Um, I don't know. So, yeah. I don't really have too much to say. I just wanted to test this. It seems like it works pretty well. It's not too difficult. Um, I don't really have a great setup here. Uh, this is definitely something I need like 3 monitors for. No wonder why a lot of streamers have that setup. But I don't have the space for it, nor do I have the finance to back that up. Maybe someday I could get at least a second monitor. That might be helpful. Um, but yeah, so I just wanted to test this out, see how it works, see if I can get it to work. That's the big thing, because I'm really bad with tech and stuff like that. Um, but yeah, so I know I mentioned we're going to talk about Severance, but I don't really, that's a little difficult to do without footage. So I don't think I'm going to talk about that today. The finale, though, season 2 finale, I'm very much looking forward to that. I get the feeling we're going to get quite a bit of answers, um, some revelations, but also I do believe they have a third season that's definitely coming out. So who knows? I'm very much excited about Severance season 2 finale. Part of me wants to request that day off from work just so I can have a 3-day weekend and just watch the finale with no worries. All right. So I think I'm going to end the stream here. I want to thank you all very much for joining me today. I'll leave up for archive, if anyone wants to watch it later. Yeah, sorry, we only covered Silent Hill F. I don't really have too much to say other than I am very much anticipating this game. I can't wait to see more. I do very much want to play it, not just because it's, taking place in Japan and it does seem like it's being pulling from an era of Japan that isn't too, that is modern, but not too modern. Japan is like one of those countries, it's a country that is both frozen in time and in the future. So I'm really excited to see this 60 setting and just kind of like absorbing all of that. That's going to be my favorite thing. All right. Okay. Well, thank you very much for watching, everyone. I very much am thankful that you joined. And even if you're just watching the archive, that is great too. I'm clicking. Okay. There we go. Sorry. All right. So, yeah. So that's all for now. Thank you so for joining me. You've been a doll. I'll see you next time.